Hey, my name is Shantae and welcome to Just How I Plant It. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel. This is my brand new channel and my goal is to get it to 1,000 subscribers. So go ahead and subscribe and like this video. Turn on the notifications so you can get alerts for when I post new videos. And do me a favor, comment that you subscribed down below so I can just watch my growth, and I just really appreciate you guys coming along this YouTube journey with me. And you might know me on Instagram as Just How I Plant It and on Facebook, but now I want you to get to know me on YouTube and I'm excited. So let's get into this house plant tour video. Over in this corner, I have one of my 3 fiddle leaf figs. This is Fig Sean. I've had Fig Seans for maybe about 8 months. And so far, although these are supposed to be very high maintenance, finicky plants, my fiddles have not given me too many issues. I have it sitting right here in front of a grow light, which I've had the grow light on it for maybe a week now, and I think it's doing something because it's producing a couple new buds, but I don't have it in front of any other humidifiers or anything like that, but it is grouped together with several other plants, which helps raise the humidity levels. So next over here I have this beautiful philodendron rojo Congo, which only has 3 leaves. I got it on a discount, but hopefully it puts out more leaves this summer. I have it in semi-hydro, and right next to this I have a beautiful alocasia. I don't know the name of these alocasias. If you guys let me know in the comments. I believe this one is a Regal Shields. Just so beautiful. I haven't had much luck with the alocasias. They keep dying, but I'm no quitter, so I keep trying again, especially when you can get them as low as $15. I got both of these, I believe, for under $20 at Lowe's and Home Depot. So maybe this is a Dora, I'm not really sure. And then this big, beautiful showstopper. This is my newest addition to my Bird of Paradise collections. I have 3 Bird of Paradise, and this is the biggest one, and it is sitting on top of a little stand, so it's not as tall as it seems, so it has room to grow. As it gets taller, I can put it down on the floor. Over here I have my handy dandy lint roller, which is a trick I learned from another YouTuber. And since alocasias are prone to spider mites, I just keep this here so I can, of course I'm holding the camera, but the idea is to just go over the leaves and then you can see anything that comes off on the leaves. So I keep that there. Panning over to the right on my mantle, I have a philodendron Birkin putting out a new leaf there. And I also have on my mantle a cutting of a Ficus elastica. So this has been on here for about a week, so I'm excited to see new roots come from that. And then sitting right next to it, I have this ZZ Raven that I got on clearance. You see it has a couple crispy pieces, but now that it's in my care, hopefully it has better luck. Now down here in this corner, I have this beautiful philodendron Hope, or philodendron Selim, I believe it's called. This put out a brand new leaf for me this week. Super beautiful. Some of the edges were a little crispy, so I have rotated it so that the ones with the crispy edges are right in front of the humidifier. Speaking of humidifier, I have my most favorite Alocasia Friedac. I've named him or her Freddie. Haven't decided the sex of the plant yet, but Freddie is my most difficult plant, but the leaves are so velvety and gorgeous that it's my favorite. And although it keeps dying back, I think now that I have it right here in front of this grow light and in front of this window and in front of this humidifier, I think it's loving its new place, because I just had a bulb and it's coming back. So right here I have another, lighting is terrible, another fiddle leaf fig here, which my husband, he doesn't even notice when I sneak plants in, because he really thought that it was this plant. It had just grown. And I'm like, no, sir, that's like a whole new plant that I snuck in here. So this is my second fiddle leaf fig, and then my third one I have up in my bathroom. And then in this corner I have a Monstera deliciosa, and I just got this one not too long ago. It doesn't have a lot of fenestrations yet. I had a more mature one, and then I transferred into Leca, and it did not like that, so it kind of dwindled, so I replaced it with another one. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Okay, so over here I have my baby bird of paradise. So this is the very first one I ever got, because I thought I was too cheap to spend the money on a big one, but I didn't realize that they're not that expensive, because the other big one that I have, I only paid $25 for from Costco, and I think this one was like $10 when I got it from Walmart last summer. And then down here I have a Majesty palm that I got on clearance for $6. And then here I have a Peperomia obtusifolia, which I love this plant so much. I'll probably end up propagating it so I can make more. And then over here on my unfinished gallery wall, and don't worry about this picture that's not fixed, I'll get around to it eventually. I have a coffee plant just hanging on this wall hook, and this is a very thirsty plant. I'm having to feed it constantly. Every 2-3 days the leaves are wilting. Over here I have another, I believe this is the same plant that's in this corner, but it just is not spread out as much, so I'm not sure. So let me know if y'all know. But I believe this is another philodendron hope. Yeah, the leaves just look smaller, but it looks the same. I'm not sure. I think it's the same one, but it's more full, so that's why I had to get me another one. And then, of course, a staple for any houseplant lover or any new plant parent is the golden pothos. These are very low maintenance plants, and they're very fast growers, and so you can end up propagating, making more and more, and then just fill your whole wall with trailing pothos. So this is my living room. The kitchen part of this tour is going to be fairly short because it's not a lot going on in here. I have what used to be a propagation that died, so we're going to just disregard that. I do have some golden pothos, propagating in here. I'll link the video below if you want to see the 3 different methods that I use. This one is actually the paper bag method that I used to propagate golden pothos. Over here I have a dying ivy. I don't particularly care for ivies. That's why it's dying. I only got it to display one of my sorority planters, and I was told that the ivies are the desired plant of the AKAs. So I picked up an ivy so I could feature that, and I just let it fall by the wayside. It's important to make sure that you like the plants that come into your house, or else they might end up like that. So next we have a dumb cane, or diffic, I don't know how to pronounce it, Dieffenbachia. I call it a dumb cane. So I have a small version. I also have another version upstairs, and then here I have another pineapple propagation. I propagated it this past summer, and so maybe this is like 6-7 months worth of growth right here. I ended up having to cut off the tips because they were brown. I foolishly had it planted in terracotta when this type of plant likes moisture, so I had to kind of give it a haircut, and it's been doing fine ever since I transferred it over into this plastic pot. Here I have a Chinese money plant, or a peperonia, I don't know the names of these plants. Chinese money plant, which is the small one, and then I have a Foyer cutting that I got in the mail that was basically DOA. So I'm trying to see if I can revive it. I had it in a plastic bag, but I took it out so it could breathe. So it's probably time to go back in so that the extra humidity could help bring the Foyer back to life. And then here I have an aloe plant, and it is in leca, and it has been doing pretty good here. It's giving me a couple of new growth coming out the center. And then panning over to the left here, in the corner I have my heartleaf philodendron, which this might just be like my favorite plant of all. It's just so low maintenance, it's beautiful, it's trailing, and it is in the corner of my kitchen, so it can tolerate low light very well. I think I have about 3 of these, and then this one is the only one that I have in leca, and the other 2 are in soil. So, and then last but not least, I have a enjoy pothos over here that, what happened to it? It has some crispy pieces, and I think it also is one of the many plants. So many plants of mine ended up perishing due to a bacterial infection brought in by one plant. Like, so much damage. So this was so beautiful, and maybe I should just propagate all of it and just start from the beginning. But this one is also in leca. Hanging above my kitchen sink, I have 2 beautiful plants. And this one is another peperonia obtusifolia, but I believe this is the variegated version. Isn't it so nice? Look at those leaves. So it has been doing a lot of growing since I've gotten it. I've only had it for maybe about 3 weeks, so I probably will propagate it so I can make more, because of course, you know, you can never have enough plants. And then, speaking of propagating, I have this beautiful Scindapsus, and I have it propagating through the air layering method, when you basically propagate on a node while it's still connected to the mother plant. So that way I can make sure that the cutting is more likely to survive, because it will have roots on it already when I cut it from the mother plant. So this has been propagating for maybe about a week, so I'll probably check on it in a couple weeks. I think you're supposed to cut open the plastic and keep it moist, so I need to do that. This is my first time doing the air layering method. So wish me luck with that. But check out these gorgeous leaves. I got this from Home Depot. And I just could not believe, all of these plant groups and Etsy will have you thinking that plants really cost a bunch of money. And I think I paid, what's the price still on this thing? It was less than 20, whatever it is. But you be on these Facebook groups and they be like, a cutting is $15. And you're like, for what? But anyway, beautiful, beautiful. So those are all the plants that I keep in my kitchen. So I forgot to mention, to the right of my kitchen, here's my kitchen. If you come over to the right, I have a patio door and I have another heartleaf philodendron. The lighting is terrible. There we go. Another heartleaf philodendron, and this one is in soil and it is trailing beautifully. And then over here on my wall hook, I have what is this? Marble queen? Some sort of pothos. I think it's a marble queen. Let me know if I'm wrong. But this one is also, can you see? In leca. I took a lot of my plants out of soil and put them into leca because I was having an issue with fungus gnats. And yeah, but leca is kind of expensive, so it's going to take a while to convert all my plants. But this one is doing good in leca, no issues so far. And so we will be moving on to the next space. Here we are in my foyer. So when you first come in the door, this is what you see. This is the front of my house, which is the only south-facing windows that I have. So if you pan up here, you can see a south-facing window here, and then right above the door. And I would love to peel this off the windows, but then I'd have everybody looking at my house. So unfortunately, I cannot let a lot of the south-facing light in. But since this is a dark corner right here, I have a Dracaena. I'm not sure what type. Then I have another dying type. Although I swear by Dracaenas being easy care plants, I have at least 2 dying in my care. And the third is on its way out upstairs, but that's just really from neglect. And I think this one had a bacterial infection that I just could not treat. But so I have this here, and let me see. And if we pan up, before I go too far ahead of myself, this, I foolishly, is my children's room. And you see the beautiful light that comes in through this room. This should be my plant room. Okay, it's the south-facing windows and it's enclosed, but I needed to close off their junk. I don't need their toys all over the house. So that's just a sacrifice I had to make, but that should have been where all my plants live. Now, if we pan up, we see we have this large, beautiful big bird of paradise. Her name is Bertha. So she sits and she gives that south facing light. So I'm going to take you on up to the stairs, upwards, and then you can see her up close in person. All right, so coming up the stairs, I have another beautiful Dracaena. And I got this one from Facebook. And then in the window, I have a few alocasias. Only one is surviving, and the other 2 are down to just bulbs. This was a Zabrina, and then this one was a poly. And so hopefully they can come back. And then I have this beautiful cactus here. Continuing upstairs, you can see Bertha sitting over there. Hey, Bertha girl. So we're about to come visit Bertha. So I just moved Bertha to this spot. She used to sit in the living room, but I just moved her up here, and she has an infection as well. Like, treating these infections is crazy. Like, it's been weeks I've been trying to cure several of my plants. So Bertha came up here to isolate, and she has not moved out of timeout, but I'm really liking her here. So I think this is where she'll stay. And then I have this plant picture that I got off of Etsy, and I'm kind of liking it here in the hallway, although I was originally going to put it in my kids' bathrooms, but that's why it's just randomly sitting there because I haven't decided on it yet. So moving on, this is my beautiful guest bedroom. I kind of wish this was my bedroom, and just have, I'm out of breath, y'all. I'm out of shape. I have over to my left when you come in, I have 2 macrame hangers I got from a young lady on Etsy, and I have a, what is this, a mouse tail cactus, and then I have a Foyer Crimson Princess, I believe, Crimson Queen, not sure which one, that badly needs a drink, so I will have to water her. And then going over to my right, I have my dumb cane that is recovering from being sick as well. And I have grow lights. Apparently, I don't know why. The dumb cane is fairly low maintenance, so she does well without grow lights. But I do have this money plant that's struggling, so it's benefiting from the grow lights. Over here in my Grow Girl planter, I have a lemon lime philodendron or lemon lime pothos. And then up here, I have a few cacti. At first I was trying to put all my plants in here that would be okay off of neglect. So that was my purpose for putting certain plants in this area because I don't come in here that often. So this is a beaver tail cactus. And then I'm not sure what this little guy is. I got him off of Facebook. And this one, I'm not sure what it is either, but it is thirsty. And then this, I believe, is monkey tail. I believe this is a monkey tail cactus right here. So I can't wait for it to get long. And then I'm not sure what this is either. I got it from Lowe's this past summer. Man, I am sucking with the Dracaenas. So this Dracaena, as you can tell, is also struggling. But it was struggling when I bought it, to be fair. I picked it up off of Facebook Marketplace. I paid the lady. I got in the car. I'm almost home. And I saw an infestation of mealybugs. Like, it was so bad. I could see it. I just turned to my right because it was in the passenger seat and I could see it. So that was a few months ago. So I've been treating it off and on. I didn't cut it down. I'm trying to cut off the leaves. So what I'm thinking is, you can see back here, I cut down one of the stalks all the way down, and I'm just going to repropagate it and try to start fresh. But I'm hesitant to cut this because this one, although I cut it, is putting off new growth. And so I kind of don't want to mess with that, but it's looking a little crazy. So I don't know, what's that, 3 Dracaenas? It's not doing well, but I promise they are easy house plants if you have the time. I just got this. This is a Swiss cheese plant. It's another type of monstera. What is this called? I don't know, y'all. But yeah, that's up there. And I'm not sure what this is, but I just got this as well. It is just dropping leaves everywhere. But it's cool. And I like hanging plants because I like to hang them from the windowsill. And I can't wait for them to get long and trail and be extra dramatic and give a nice look in this space, nice jungly look. Over here, I have believe this is a jade pothos that is very thirsty as well. This one was also sick, but I'm not seeing any more infected leaves. So she is recovering. Down here, I have a Ripsalis, and I believe this is a euphorbia. and I took this off of another plant. It was just so big that I just separated it. Then I have another Dracaena cutting that I got from one of my clients. I went to do her hair at her house. I'm like, ooh, what is that? Can I have a piece? And so it's actually the plant that was in the hallway. She has something similar to that. And so that's what this will look like. And then I ended up finding a whole big plant a month later. This is another Dracaena. I'm not sure what type it is. If you guys know what type of plants these are, please let me know in the comments. That way I can properly identify them for other people. And then I have some Sansevieria, I'm trying to get the lighting right. Sansevieria cuttings here. And then I have another Dracaena. Very cool. And then I have, I think this is a prickly pear cactus. And then I have a ZZ plant here. This is my corner of shame. So you can't tell, but this is an alocasia. I just cut the leaf off, earlier today. It was not doing well, so we'll try again in the summer. And this was a bromelia. This was a gift from my husband's aunt, and it wasn't a plant that I was excited about, so I did let it fall to the wayside. Oops. And then this is my golden pothos that was on a totem. I was super excited about this plant, but when I brought this plant home, apparently it had an infection. And so all the plants that I've been telling you have been struggling from an infection. This is the culprit, and that's why it's important to quarantine your plants and treat them when you bring them in the house. I was not doing that, but I have since learned my lesson, and I have created a whole nother video on what to do when you bring your plants home. So I'm going to link that in the description. But this is all the plants. These are all the plants that I have currently in my guest bedroom. Here in my bedroom is another south-facing window, so of course I have more cacti in here. I don't know the name of half of these cacti, so you're gonna have to let me know down in the comments. But I've still been taking care of them regardless, because I feel like the care is pretty much the same. A lot of people say, oh, you don't have to water your plants or your cacti in the wintertime. They can go through a drought, but I still have been watering them. And in fact, I let them bottom water and they absorb the moisture. So that's how I know that they still appreciate the extra moisture, especially sitting in the sun. The more sun that your plant is getting, the more water that they're going to need. As you can see, this one is kind of, can you see, shriveled up a little bit, so it is asking for water. So I will probably water it later on today. But here we have a bunny ear cactus, and this one I believe is called a Joseph's coat, and I love it. It's just so weird looking. It's great. I love it. And I'm not sure what this is. I have two that look pretty similar, and one is called a blue torch because it looks kind of, maybe this is it. Can you see? It looks kind of blue sometimes. So maybe that's the blue torch. And then I forgot what this one is called. But those are my cacti that I have sitting in that window. Moving on, I have another quite large cactus that I have no idea what it is. I bought it off Facebook, one of the plant groups, and they sent me just one cutting. So did I get this off of Facebook? I don't know where I got it from, actually. I think I bought it off of Facebook, but I bought it from somebody locally. And I bought it, it was just this bottom piece, and I planted it, and then it grew this weird, this weird second piece that has not thickened up, and I don't know what that's about. That's why I have it staked all weirdly. Ideally, I would love if all 3 pieces were just that thick, and then it could probably stand on its own. But it's getting some new growth up there, so that's very exciting. And then down here, I have a beaver tail, which I got this from Lowe's or something, and it has some new growth there. And then this one, this used to be my favorite. I liked it better when it was smaller. I think it's called like a fat thumb cactus, but I'm not sure if this is like some sort of bacteria because it just started this yellowing thing, and I really don't know what's going on with it. I might need to cut it down and propagate it. I did cut some pieces, and I'm not sure how they're rooting. Here I have a dead aloe, so we're gonna move on. And here I have a beaver tail cactus. When I bought them, both of them were in the same pot, so I separated them. And here we have, what is this thing? I think this is a prickly pear cactus. I love it. It's so beautiful. And then it gives it's like a little peace sign or some bunny ears. And then randomly, I have this ponytail palm, which it might be getting too much sun because I'm seeing some brown pieces over there. But I love her. She is so gorgeous. And then also randomly, I have this. This is my monstera that I was telling you about that is dying. This is cinnamon because I was trying to prevent a bacterial infection that I believe that it had. But yeah, this is Monroe. This is one of my very first plants, and she was doing gorgeous until I started doing too much, and I transferred her into Leca, and she didn't like that. But she is putting out a couple new leaves, so I think she's coming back. Over here in this corner, I have Cornelius. Cornelius is also an OG. He was one of the first plants I ever got. Super, super low maintenance. So much that when I moved out of my house, I was trying to sell my house and I moved in with my mom. I left him in my house that I was selling for staging purposes, and he was good, like without being watered for like a month. I would go and check on him every few weeks, and he was doing pretty good. So this is Cornelius, beautiful corn plant, very low maintenance. So that's a good option for you if you're looking for something that doesn't require a lot. And over here, I have my beautiful wicker plant shelf that was gifted to me by my father-in-law. And I have a bunch of succulents on here, and they are very far away from the window, but they're doing pretty good. So back here we have a snake plant. This is the cylindrical one. So it's very low maintenance. And when I got it, it had, I think, 5 shoots, the thickest one. It had 5 of those, and I propagated it. It took forever, but then I finally started pushing off these offshoots. So I can't wait for more to come because I'll probably separate and put them into another pot. That way I can have more. Then I have this beautiful fountain that I had plugged up. It was giving more humidity because I had some more humidity loving plants here that are no longer here, so I might need to move that. And then I have this aloe, which I have had for so long, but it's finally putting out new growth because I neglect this plant like all the time. And back here I have a propagation from my fat thumb cactus. Down on this second shelf, I have an aloe, which is actually my daughter's aloe. Her aunt gifted it to her, but I'm like, she's 3. She's not gonna take care of that. So I'm keeping it alive in here. And then I have this euphorbia, not sure what kind, but I got this from Ace Hardware, and I'm excited to see how big it grows. I might have to move it out of here because it's gonna be at the top soon. And then I have 2 more aloes in here. 1, 2, 3, 4 more aloes in here. My aloes all get neglected. I don't know why. I'm just, they're like meh, you know? All right, here in the bathroom, see if I can get the lighting to cooperate. Okay, here in the bathroom, I have my dying Monstera propagation. I have a Hoya, what is this? I'll be buying stuff off Etsy. I don't know. It's some sort of Hoya. Let me know. Let me know, y'all. I have this Hoya Abavada, and this is like my favorite. I have both of these in semi-hydro. And then down here, I have this like Christmas type fern that I got. Oh, it's dry. You need some water, boo. I got this, I don't know what it's called. I just know during Christmas time they have them at Home Depot. So I picked one up. And here I have my lovely Burl Marks. It is just climbing beautifully. I wanted to propagate it, but now that I have it in this corner, I think it might be interesting to see how far up the wall it goes and just really fill up this space. I think that'll be amazing. So over here we have a snake plant, Sansevieria. What kind, I do not know. I have another pineapple plant propagation. This one is growing crazily. It's long and it's like kind of wonky looking, but I still like it. Then I have this Chinese fan palm that mostly died. It had like 6 stalks and it died, and I just put it in leca about 2 days ago. So hopefully it comes back. And then here we have a raindrop peperomia, and I just got this also last week. I know y'all like, how many plants did you get last week? A lot, okay? A lot. And then I have an alocasia poly because I killed the last one. And so, you know, this is a relatively inexpensive plant. So I'm willing to try again. Let me climb up in this bathtub so I can get close. Okay, here we have a Hoya Hindu rope, Hoya compactica, and I just have it sitting here just because I don't have, you see, I done made a mess. I don't have anything to sit it on, and when I water it, I don't want water everywhere, so I kind of just had it sitting here. But here's a snake plant propagation. So these were offshoots from another snake plant, and I just repotted them in here. And here is the propagations from Monroe, my Monstera. I told you I died. So this is how big and beautiful her leaves were, and then I killed her, or she died back to that hot mess that you seen a little while ago. So let's come over to this corner. We have a satin pothos. This is just, I love it. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. Then I got this plant. This I was told is called a never plant, or some sort of prayer plant. So she likes to be moist, which is why I moved her into the bathroom. And then I have another Sansevieria snake plant here. And then I just picked up this beautiful fern. It doesn't even look real, y'all. I had to check. I had to put my finger in it and, like, you know, is it real? I got new growth, so I hope it's real. Coming up, we have another aloe. I do not want this aloe here. I like to keep my aloes in the kitchen and the windowsill, but I needed something to go here. So once I find something else that will trail beautifully, I will put that in this space. But for now, the aloe is there. Coming over into the window. This lighting is crazy. That's what I get for shooting it with my cell phone. But anyway, I have some sort of fern. Might need to be watered. I have a fern here, and I have a snake plant, a spider plant that died from a bacterial infection, but it looks like it is trying to survive. Note to myself, I need to water these things. And then I have a Hoya Wayetii, and it's just sitting up here. And this is also in leca. I don't know if you can see that. All right. In this corner, I have Fiona. Fiona was my first fiddle leaf fig. Actually, I have two in here. This one was a cutting, And I didn't even name it yet, but it's just sitting in there in the same pot. So Fiona is my only fiddly fig that is in Leca. And I switched her to Leca because she was getting those brown spots, those reddish brown spots on the leaves, which they say is from inconsistent watering. So I was like, oh, I'ma let you water yourself. And so I put her in semi-hydro and she dropped maybe 2 leaves, but other than that, she is doing great. These leaves, it's just gorgeous. I think this is like the biggest one. All right, so above that, I have a Hoya Crinkle 8. And it is called a Crinkle 8 because it has like 8 notches on the leaves. So it is growing out quite beautifully. I will probably propagate this one, but I'm kind of scared to propagate it because I have not had good luck with propagating Hoyas. But I might do the air layering method as well, just so I can ensure that I do get root growth before I make that big chop. Over here I have a beautiful Majesty palm, and it had a bacterial infection, so I had to cut off a couple of stalks, but it is pushing out three stalks, and I had no idea that these leaves came out like this, like beautiful. So it's taking forever. It's been weeks that it's been coming out, but it is on its way. Okay, here on my bathroom counter, I have a polka dot, what do you call it? Begonia. Polka dot begonia. Angel wing begonia, something like that. And it had some crispy tips. And so at first I had it in my bedroom because I like the colors of it. It complements my bedroom better. But after I read how much humidity it needs, I'm like, you need to live in a bathroom. So I have it in the bathroom right next to the humidifier, which is currently reading 60%, and it gets up to like 89% after a hot shower. And then I have this Calathea, which is also very high maintenance. So I don't even know why I picked this plant because I'm not a high maintenance plant type of girl. I have too many to be like focused on, you know, high maintenance plants. But anyway, this is a new addition to my collection, so we will see how they like it here. Although it seemed like this video was never going to end, we made it, you made it, and I appreciate you sticking it through to the end with me. Go ahead and make sure that you are subscribed, like, comment, help your girl out with these plant identifications. So in my next video, I'll get it together. And until next time, happy planting.